welcome to another special Sudoku Solves video. Today I have something special, I think. It's Sudokuvania Digits of Despair. It has a very lengthy introduction that I advise you read. It looks so interesting. It's like, from what the description said, it's like 20 puzzles in one, and it's you have to explore to discover new rules and mechanics. And I don't know, this just seems so interesting to me, and I don't think I'll be able to finish it in one video. But if I like it, I'll keep going. Um, I don't know what this all holds. Um, I am going to read through the short introduction. Every 100 years, the mysterious castle of Sudokuvania appears in the countryside. Legend has it that it contains the secret of Sudoku. Gathering the last few given digits in the area, you solemnly approach the boxy fortress, determining to discover the secret and share it with your favorite people. That's a cracking the cryptic reference. That means 45. Um, Notes for Sudoku Pad. Sudokuvania is best played on desktop browser. That's what I'm doing. For the best experience, open the settings menu, turn on visual, draw arrows above lines, turn on visual, disable emoji replacement. Okay, let's do that first. Turn on visual, draw arrows above lines, draw arrows above lines, and disable emoji replacement. Turn on visual, disable emoji replacement. So it's turned on now. There's large digits. I don't know if this. I think this means on. I'm pretty sure this means on. Okay. Um, can you zoom? I think it said something about experimental. Um, that's large puzzle UI. Oh, that works. Okay. But I don't know how I now. How do I move? Oh, okay, like that. Okay. Um, rules. Getai Sudoku. In each square grid, where enter digits from 1 to n into each row, column, and region, where n is the length of each side of the grid. So I must assume that this is a 6 by 6. But we'll look at that later. The map is covered with fog. Placing correct digits may reveal more clues or rules. Clues may only be used if their associated rule is uncovered in the Learned Rules panel in the upper left. Dynamic rules. Selecting cells can change the rules displayed by the puzzle. To avoid spoilers, only select cells which have already been uncovered from fog. Select a cell on a map to learn more about its grid and to get a link to its boss puzzle, if applicable. Select a rule in the Learn Puzzles pane for more details. Okay, so how does this work then? If I want to select that. Whoa, is that because I selected it? No. How to play by the rules. Sudoku. Each n by n grid, enter the digits 1 to 9 for each cell without repeating a row, column, or grid. 1 to n. I think that's supposed to be 1 to n. Most grids regions are 3 by 3 boxes. Digits can repeat in a row or column as long as they are in separate grids. Dynamic fog. Learning rules. Clues have no meaning until the associated rule is uncovered from the fog. Select a rule in the Learn Rules panel for more information. Select a rule. Boss puzzles. When you uncover a boss cell, click the link to the associated boss puzzle below. Must have a cell in its grid selected. Solving the boss puzzle will have the digit to be placed in the boss. Will give the digit to be placed in the boss cell. Outside the map, cells outside the grid do not need to contain any digit. or they may contain the digit 0, as necessitated by nearby clues. All clues must be correct, even those outside the map. May contain the digit 0. Don't need to contain any digits, or they may contain the digit 0, as necessitated by nearby clues. Okay. But we don't know if this is a 3x3 or a 6x6, right? Because I see a line. Oh, whoa! Is that because I clicked grid 4, grid 0? Okay. Um, and this is still. Oh, this is double. This is double. So this is in both grids. And I'm assuming same goes for that one. And this is all grid 0. In this 6x6 grid, enter the digits 1 to 6 in each row, column, and 2x3 box. So that means this is the 2x3 box. So that's a 6. Okay. So that's a 4. Okay. And that's it. That's the only rules. Okay. So it starts off very easy. I say it happened. Not being able to, one of those is a 5. Let's see what else. One of those is a 3. One of those is a 4. That's the only place 4 can go. Courtyard. So we leech over to grid 1, I think, designated. Here we already played the Courtyard boss puzzle, but we don't have the boss yet. We need to see the boss first, right? Is that a thing? So solve the boss puzzle displayed when you select. Okay, I'm gonna try and finish this grid first if I can, as much as possible, but I don't know if it'll be possible. But there is a boss puzzle. Dilapidated garden. Okay, no. I'm so curious to see where all of this goes. This is the only place 6 can go. La guy, thermo. Digits along a gray guy thermometer line strictly increase from the rounded bulb end. But that's not a thermo. This is a thermo. Okay, so this is a 1 and a 5. This is a 3, 2 and a 3. This is a 5, and that's a 1. This is a 1 and a 2. One of those is 6. This is what I said with I'm just going to do as much as I can, but I don't know if I can do all of this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much else, do I? Because how are you going to move upward now? But anyway, if this is a this must be a 9x9, right? Because yeah, that must be a 9x9. Let's do grid 0, grid 1, with grid. Oh, that's grid 2. Okay. 7, 8, 9. So we know that that's 7, 8, and 9. Do we have to do that boss puzzle then in order to advance? Because one of those is 4, we know that. One of those is 6 as well. But we have no specific information yet. Grids, hidden puzzles, other quests. I don't know I don't know how well I fit this into OBS, to be honest. And if my face ever covers anything, but I hope it doesn't. Um, I'll assume that anything of the right of the calculator you won't see. So I'll scroll this quest progress, hidden puzzles. What an amazing concept. What an absolute behemoth of a puzzle. How, yeah, I don't know. great minds, I guess. Sixes, so that's a 6, so that's a 4-6 pair. So that's a 1 or a 5. That's something. Um, I think it's time to try the bus puzzle. Thermomonster. The castle seems deserted so far. The courtyard gardens are a tangle of overgrown vines which seem to be leading towards the center. Suddenly, a gaping green maw emerges from within a pile of writhing roots. Some kind of plant monstrosity. Sudoku places digits along a bronze thermometer line, digits decrease from the bulb's tip. And it's not an easy thermo puzzle, is it? Okay. Um, wow. How? We have to start this somewhere. It did say it's a 5-star puzzle, but I hoped it started off a bit easier and I could, ease into it. But I think we're just going to have to start. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that could be even a 5. There is no boxes really full of thermos or anything. Because okay, so what I'm thinking is there cannot be a 9 on a thermo line. So within this box, where's the 9? It can only go there. That's the only thing I'm seeing because if you need a higher digit, there's no digit higher than 9. So those cannot be 9. That cannot be a 9. I don't know. There cannot be a 9 on this thermo. I'm looking for places, right? Because there can only be a 1 in one of these places and there only be a 9 in one of these places. Maybe that's significant. Same for 8, right? Because that cannot be an 8, and those can also then not be an 8, that cannot be an 8. So this contains the 8 and the 9. And this, well, maybe that's 1, 2, 3. So 1 and 2 also have to appear in here. But how? Well, yeah, so that cannot be a 3. If that's a 3, this is a 1, 2 pair, and that means that that's a 1 and a 2. So that cannot be a 3. But those can also not be a 3. So there's a 1, 2, and 3 in here. And I assume it works the same with that. 7, yeah, 7, 8, 9. So this contains the digits 7, 8, and 9. And this contains the digits 1, 2, and 3. Now, because, well, that also means that that cannot be a 6, right? Because if that's a 6, we have the problem with that being either 7, 8, making that a 7 and an 8. Because 6, 7, 8, 9, no. So those can also not be 6. And that can now not be a 6. That can then also not be a 6. So 6 kind of falls in the same category. So that's a 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. Um, Now that could be a 5, right? Because that cannot be a 4. No. So if that's a 5, well, that can be a 5. That's the problem. And that can also be a 5. But that cannot be a 5, can it? So maybe the point is that one of those has to be 5. I think that's going to be it. Because if that's a 5, we have the problem that we have 2 smaller digits again, and we have 5 digits having to be smaller digits. So that cannot be a 5. Then that cannot be a 5 because we bump into the same problem. So one of those is a 5. And I truly assume that if that's a 5, yeah, we run into the same issue. So one of those has to be a 5. And if that's a 5, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. If that's a 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. So one of those is a 5, I guess. That's a 6. I'm thinking, can that ever not contain a 5? That can be a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? But there can be one smaller digit. So we can have like 1, then we can have 5, we can have 6, 7, 8. Well, okay, so one of those has to be 9. And one of those has to be 1. Because if this is the 5, then the 9 ends up there. If this is the 5, the 9 ends up there. So this is a 5, 9 pair. And this is a 1, 5 pair. Okay. Um, Now that means that cannot be a 9. So that can be at most an 8, 7, 6. And then we can have 5 and a smaller digit. And we must have 5 and one smaller digit. We cannot have two smaller digits. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this is one of the smaller digits, and it doesn't matter which one. And then probably we have the same thing here, right? Because that cannot be a 9. What am I saying? That cannot be. So here it work with counting down. So it can be 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then one higher digit. Yeah, okay, it must work the same. Because if that's a high digit, we have another high digit there. So 1, and then that's 6, 7, 8, and 9 again. So what now? So that's not 4, that's not 3, that's not 2, that's not 7, that's not that's not 6, and that's not 8. But yeah, okay, sure, right? Um, 5 there. This now cannot contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the minimum this can be is 6. So this can be 6, 7, 8. That can be 7, 8, or 9. I'm still having trouble seeing what the significance of that is, because I just don't know. Um, so one of those is a 9. So we need a 9 there. But that or that can be a 9. Doesn't matter. One of those is a 5. Well, that now cannot be an 8, right? But that can be an 8. I was going to say 8 has to go down here as well. But that's wrong. We need to be somehow force one of these to be one of the things. Um, I'm fully not sure. This is the first boss battle as well. I'm not confident I can solve this in any means. The full puzzle, but I love the concept, so I'll see how far I can get. Also in, I guess, one episode. Maybe this is a more of a multiple episodes type of thing. But um, yeah, I'm just baffled. I feel like I'm just doing a good puzzle now, a good thermal puzzle, but almost forgot that I'm doing the the full grid thing. Um, so those are the same digit. Same with those, so that cannot be a 7. Okay. Such a minor point, I think. Where is the difficulty now? Because, right, so this is either 2, 3, 4. Well, okay, I can write this out, can I? 2, 3, 4, or it's 6, 7, 8. And the same goes with this. It's either 2, 3, 4, or it's 6, 7, 8. So we have 4 8 pairs, and 3 7 pairs, and a 2 6 pair. That is something. So one of those is a 2. I'm not seeing a problem there. Okay, 4 8 might be better. That cannot be 4 and 8, and that cannot be 4 and 8. So 4 and 8 go into this corner. 2 and 6 go into that corner. And 3 and 7 go into those corners. Okay, so there is something there, but I don't know what that means. I feel like the middle thing has to be a 5 in some way, but I'm not seeing how. Um, okay, so what does that mean? This can. I feel like this can contain still nearly any digit. Is there a digit that must contain like a 5 somehow? If it contains a 5, then we have 5, 5, and one of those, then obviously that's not a 5, so that's a 5. We have this 5, this 5. So those aren't 5, that's not a 5. One of those is a 5. But how relevant? That doesn't mean anything. Um, I have trouble seeing what I'm supposed to do. I truly don't know. There must be a way with this thermometer to fix this one into some way. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If this is 6, 7, 8, and it cannot contain a 9, so we have 1, 2, 3, but we still have the 4 as wiggle room then. No, okay, so no, if that's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, or whatever, that makes that full. But we can still have the 5, so that doesn't matter. And if this is 6, 7, that can still be a 9. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 6, 7, 8, or 9. And if this is 5, 6, 7, 8, that can be a 9. So there is more option. Such many points. They mean nothing, really. So, what are we saying? This 1, and that must work the same with the 9. Oh, the 9 is forced in one of those because the 1, oh yeah, because the 9 cannot be on this thermometer, but the 1 can be there. So it doesn't have the same power. This cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it is 6, 7, oh. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9. So if this is 6, 7, 8, can we do that somewhere else? If this is 6, 7, 8, we have a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. So then that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a 1. And those are 2, 3, and 4. Is there a problem with this? No, I don't feel like there is. If this is 2, 3, and 4, then that's 2, 3, and 4. Hmm. I'm the first boss, man. Come on, Skeptical Mario. Give a man a freebie on the first boss. Um, this is supposed to be the tutorial section, but there is no tutorial. More of a Dark Souls-esque tutorial, I guess. Well, it's a Metroidvania. I think they are supposed to ramp up in general. Um, okay, so with the 2, 6, that can be a 2. So this is either 1, 5 or 5 and 9. Which one has more severe implications? Okay. Um, I'm I'm seeing nothing at all. I felt like I was moving along with the puzzle, but now I'm stopped for some reason. So that's 6, 7, or 8. If I can somehow prove that that's not a 9, we are in business. If that's a 9, what does that mean for the rest of the puzzle? I feel like it means nothing. If that is not a 9, then that's not 6, 7, 8, and that's 2, 3, 4. That's not a if that's not a 9, and that's 2, 3, 4. So then that has to be a 9, but that's the least meaning one. Where where's the significance there? Well, okay, so if that's 6, 7, 8, and that's 6, 7, 8, and that's a 6, 7, 8 triple, is that a problem? Then 6, 7, 8 have to all be in there. Then 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the hypothesis if that's 6, 7, 8, then we have 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple there. So then 6, 7, 8 have to be in there with the 5. And the same goes with 2, 3, and 4, right? Within there. So we said 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8 in there with a 5. And then 9 goes up there. No, not there, it goes there or there. In that case, we have with the 2, 3, 4, we're missing one high digit, which isn't there, which is then there. Yeah, okay, so if that's 2, 3, 4, then we have 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. That cannot be 6, 7, 8, or 9, so then that's 6, 7, 8, or 9. And we have a string of high digits. And if we have it in that case, where we have... No, but the problem is we don't have this 1 there. If the 1 is there, right, and that's 2, 3, 4, I think we have a problem. Because then we have 1, that then has to be a 4. Then we have... Yeah, because that's 2, 3, 4. Then we can have 1 small digit, but we can have 5, 6. No, because then that has to be a 4. But that's only in the hypothesis where this is small and there's a 1 there. So if this is 2, 3, 4, and that's 2, 3, 4, then these digits have to add up to 2, 3, and 4. They have to contain the digits 2, 3, and 4. And some other digit. That cannot be 5. Well, this digit cannot be 2, 3, and 4. So those digits all have to be 2, 3, and 4. And if that's then 6, 7, 8, and 9, 6, 7, 8, and that's a 9, then those digits all cannot be 6, 7, 8, or 9. And if we move it the other way around, so it's either this is 2, 3, and 4, and then that's 2, 3, and 4, or it's 6, 7, 8, and then that's 6, 7, and 8. If that's 2, 3, and 4, then we can only use one of those digits in there. So that has to be the smallest one. If this is 6, 7, 8, and that's 6, 7, 8, then only one of those digits can go there. Oh no, wait, we already have 6, 7, 8 in that box. So we would have to fit from the digits 1 to 5. We have to fit 3 of them on there. This puzzle has no right to be this difficult. This is... I can only see that this is 1, 2, 3, or 4 because it's... No. No, it can be as high as 6. It can be even 7. Nope, 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 nope. Nope. I'm just seeing things. I wish it was more easy. A 4 long meter that cannot contain 9. It cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Can it? This cannot be a 3, I guess, because it's the same as that one. This digit is 1, 2, 3, or 4 because it sees 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna mark it. Um, if this is 2, 3, 4, and that's 5. I'm already stuck for 25 minutes on the first boss. Um, I feel like this Sudoku puzzle is above my pay grade, but I do want to finish this. I might bifurcate and assume one of the lines is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and see where we end up. So this digit is there. And then in one of those, this digit ends up in one of those. With the 5. This one with the red. So we can lose one high digit. No, we cannot lose one high digit. There's one other small digit in there. And this small digit goes in one of those. And um, can we have a 1 down there? If we have a 1 there. Because if he can't, that's the only other place 1 can go. Where can 9 go in this row? It cannot go there. It cannot go in any of those. It cannot go there. Well, not there, obviously. So 9 can go in any of those. Is there a row that sort of matches this? This row, 9 cannot go in any of those. 9 cannot go there, not there, and not there. If there's one more row that has this pattern, but I don't think there is. There can only be one 9 in this box, obviously, so which one of those is the 9? And I can't even do the same with the 1 on the other side, it's not mirrored. So if this is 6, 7, 8, then we have 5, 6, 7, 8 in those. Well, 5 not in them, so 6, 7, and 8. That's not even a whole set. I've just stopped talking, I know, but I'm losing my head. Um, Looking at this puzzle, I'm totally not seeing it. One of the digits 1, 2, 4 has to appear in here, and 1, 6, 8, 9. So if we call this purple somewhat, and this is like yellow, then we have 5, and the other one of those 3 in there, and the other one of those. A 6 cannot go there, an 8 cannot go there, but a 9 can still go in any of those. I'm going to do something that I don't like to do, but I want to continue with the bigger puzzle, and I'm gonna bifurcate. I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let's see where we end up. So then that's a 9. That's not a 9. So we looked at this. Then this is then 2, 3, 4. Does that even help me? Does it? 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. This doesn't even help me that much now, does it? That's horrible. I'm gonna look the other way. I'm gonna look the other one of the 2 options. I'm gonna go. What did I say? This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Then that's a 2, 3, and a 4. And this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's so this now can be at most a 5. So it is from the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That cannot be contain a 5. This C is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 6, 7, and 8, 9. And this now is 2, 3, or 4. So this is 1, 2, or 3. Still horrible, horribly done. By me, definitely by me. 2, 3, 4, 5. One of those not a 5. I want to start seeing issues somewhere, just so I can either determine it was this way or the other way. But this is 6, 7, 8, or 9, because that's the only place that digit can go. So it's not 9, it's not 8, it's 6 or 7. So that's not 6, so that's not 7. So where does the 1 go? It has to go there. And one of those has to be a 1. Still, that's not a 1 now. I feel like the problem is still within this thing. If it contains a 5, it's that one, isn't it? And then that's whatever, but if it contains a 5, it's that cell. Or the 5's down there. And then nothing to be said. Oh no, wait. If that isn't a 5, let's say that's a 4 or a 3. It doesn't matter. You have all small digits there. You have too many small digits in that row. So then the 5 goes down there. So that's a 5. So one of those is a 5. Neither of those is a 9. Gives you a 6, 7, 8 triple there. Wait, no. I almost messed up there. If that isn't a 5, there was a problem. So that is a 5. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's not a. So that's the 5. That's the 5. That's not a 9. And that's not a 5. Even when bifurcating, I tend to make mistakes. What is this? This is just brutally hard. For an introductionary boss puzzle, I'm not sure if I'm able to finish this whole set of puzzles. Um, how long have I been recording for? 45 minutes. That's okay, I would say. Um, that's acceptable. Let's see. That's not a 5. Now where? If that is a 5, that's another 2 or 3. That's a 7 or an 8. That's not a 9. So that is an interesting 5, isn't it? Okay. What did we say? The 9 in this row was there or there. And this one, it was in one of those places, but only this one has been ruled out. That's also 6, 7, 8, or 9. So 1. 1 in this row. No, it can still go there or there. This might just be unsolvable because I chose one of the paths and it might have chosen the wrong one. So if I get stuck, that might also be the reason. But I should see an error then, or just a mistake within the logic. If that's a 2, no, that can't just be a 2. That cannot be a 3, I guess. If you're a 2, that's a 1. So if that's a 1, what do we run into? And this. If that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 3, that's a 4. So if that's a 2, that means that that's also a 4. So then that's a 4, that's a 4. Hmm. I don't like that. I don't like that. 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. So then this is also 6, 7, 8. I could have seen that before. So 6, 7, 8, 9. This is also 1, 2, 3, or 4. Six, seven, eight, triple. So that's a 1, 2, 3, or 4. And that is also a 1, 2, 3, or 4. You could also start marking that with highs and lows, and that's maybe a bit clearer to see. I already see that I missed some, but that's okay. Um, well, the 2 cannot go there, the 3 cannot go there if that's not one of those, but 2, 3, 4, triple, see, that's a 5, and that's not a 5, so that's also low. So we have a 2, 3, 4 triple there, and then that's obviously 2, 3, 4. So that's also 6, 7, 8, or 9. That is a 6, 7, 8, or 9 with those. So there we have it, 6, 7, 8, or 9. With those, create that that's not a 9, and that's a 9. Those are not 9, so that's 9. So that is not a 9. And that's high, so that's then, and those 2 are low. That's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Well, not ones. Those are both low. Yeah, well, I, 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 I don't know if I was supposed to do this. I could have colored most of this without choosing one of the sides, right? Because if you get a color on one of those, well, okay, maybe, but I'm okay with how I did it. I think. Well, yeah, I must be because, I am here in the puzzle now. And there's no turning back. But what now? I'm looking for pairs, right? So for example, places some digits cannot go. But there's not much on thermos at this point that I haven't pencil marked correctly. I've spent almost 45 minutes on this puzzle alone. Um, oh no, oh no. Baffled. So the other digits that this is a 6, 7, or 8. So one of those is a 9. That does nothing for me. Um, there is no pair that I'm seeing. The thing is, if that's green, then that's green. If that's purple, then that's purple. So these are the same color, whatever they are. Or this is a 5. Can all of this be like purple? If that's because if that's green, all of this is green, right? And that would have to be in the way of 2, 3, and 4. And it cannot be 5. So if that cannot be green, we are onto something. So if this is green, we're basically saying it is 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, right? But not 1. So yeah, so it has to be that way, and that breaks. So this isn't green. It's not 5, so it's purple. So it is 7, 7 or 8. That means that those two are green, and they are 1, 3, and 4. With that not being 3, that not being 4. Can we basically say the same thing with purple, because then it would have to be 6, 7, yeah, and that breaks. So that cannot be purple, so that is green, because it's not 5. It's not 4, so it is 2 or 3, and then that's purple. With being 6, 7, or 9. That not being a 6 or 7. I did that wrong, didn't I? 6, 7, 8, 9. That isn't an 8. That's not a 6, and that's not a 7. Okay. I feel like that means barely anything though. These are all green, but that can't be a 5. But that cannot be. So that's purple. And there's only one more purple there, so that's 9. And those are green. So that's 1, 2, 3, or 4. With I accidentally clicked that one. So that's not a 3. That cannot be a 5, and it cannot be 1, 2, or 4. So that's purple. So that's not 2. I'm I'm bamboozled. If that's 5, then that's a small digit. So then it's a 1. But it cannot be a 1, because that's a 2, 4, 1, 2, 4 triple. Oh well, there is just 4 small digits there, so that cannot be a small digit, so that cannot be a 5. So that cannot be a small digit. It could be a 5, but that cannot be a small. That cannot be 5. That has to be that. So that's the only place 5 can go. So 5 is not in the middle. It's one of the digits, one of the highs or lows, and then that's the other one. But that could be a 5. In fact, that's the only place 5 can go in that column. So that is a 5. Now we had all the smalls. We had the 5, so those two are purple. And that is green with a 1, 2, or 4. And then why does it feel like the rest is not doable? These are 6, 7 pair. This is an 8 or a 9. This is a 6, 8, or 9. starting to get to the point where I don't think. I think I have a problem. Yeah, I think I do. Because how am I going to finish this now? How is this going to resolve? If this is 1, then that's at least 2, then that's 4. If that's 2, then that's 4. If that's 4, then that's 2. So, oh well, okay, those couldn't be 4 already. Never mind. Um, I mm, okay, so one of those is 1. So that's not a 1 and that's not a 1. So one of those is 1, so that's not a 1. And the other digit is 8 or 9. So one of those is 7, but we knew that. And one of those is 6, 7, or 8. Um, um, I have spent an hour on this now, and I have not finished the first boss puzzle. I went into this so hopeful. I saw the 5-star puzzle, and it even said, "Don't be assumed that it's just because of its length." And I assumed it was because of its length. Oh God. Okay. If that's 6, 7, 8, then that's obviously 1, but then that's 9. If that's 6, 7, oh, that's an 8, 9 pair. So then that's 6 or 7. And that's a 1, so that's a 1. That's the 8 or the 9. Well, okay, that cannot be a 9. Nor an 8, so that's a 6. I think that's it. That was just a tough spot for me, and I don't know why. Okay. Um, that now is not an 8. Um, I, 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 oh, not the dogs. still baffled. I'm still not seeing it. If it's supposed to be easy, I'm not the right person for the job. I don't think. Um, I know I have the Cracking Cryptic Thermo app, and I've tried, but I'm just not good at thermos. Never have been. Um, so maybe this is easier than I am experiencing it right now, but I don't feel like it is. Oh, 6, 7, 8. So that's the only place 9 can go. 8. 8. I mean, and that's 9. And those aren't 8. So then that's an 8. I feel like I chose the right option from the two. Um, at this point, so we need a 6 in this box, and that's there, and then that's the one, the 9. Now I just need to do the 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s, don't I? Um, is there one on thermos? Those look at each other. That one has to be bigger than, smaller than that one. Oh, that's then a 4. 1, 3, not 4s. So that's a 3. That's a 4. That's not a 4. So then that's a 2, a 1. The only place 3 can go. The only place 1 can go. So if that's not, then that's not a 2. Then that's a 2, 4, 3, 4, 2. I definitely chose the right option. I'm pretty sure. Um, we'll never know uh, what the other one might have brought us for kind of mistake. But I'm just happy I beat the boss at this point. Um, I don't know. I'm still okay with how I did it because I am going to um, I think going to do this more often. I'll definitely save the puzzle. Yay! Congrats! You have slain the chlorophyllic foe. The chlorophyll. Upon closer examination of its tiny tendrils, you may believe you can fashion them into some kind of whip that should give you a better shot against any further beasties. Ahead, you can see the doorway to the castle proper. Hopefully, none of the traps ahead have legs. You unlock some whip arrows. Enter 3 into this puzzle's boss cell. Oh, and then we're here. Um, and we still haven't uncovered the boss cell. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to save that 3 in the purple as the boss cell. Um, let's see, I've uncovered the whip. We'll probably have to fill it into the boss cell. But thank you for watching. Uh, I only spent 10 minutes in this puzzle. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.